All right. We are in match number 5 at the Anvita Hyderabad Pickleball League. Oh, beautiful use of spin. The Nandi Chargers represented by Saina Nehwal and Srikar, and the Dynamos by Vikram and Siddharth. Vikram had a terrific match against Nikit. Couldn't win, unfortunately, but was very, very impressive. Ooh. 2-0. Literally 2 points in the first 2 serves. Ooh. Looking at Vikram's grip, I feel like he was a table tennis player. You look at his serve, you look at all those minor nuances. See, look at that shot.
Finger behind the grip is especially interesting. You've seen it with more than one player.
Yeah.
And it's probably something to do with more control over the way the shot is being played.
Could be.
But the backspin that you just pointed out over there definitely reminds me of table tennis for sure. Around the net, and he indicates it was already out. But a spectacular shot.
In fact, if our hunch is true that he was a table tennis player, he would have a definite advantage because the weight of a pickleball bat is almost as much as a good, heavy, professional TT bat.
Yeah, but like that's where the similarities end.
That's true.
A lot more movement, a lot more running, much bigger ball. But you're right in the sense where it might be easier to adjust to a new...
Yeah, to adapt.
Yeah, to a new handheld racket or paddle.
As compared to, say, somebody who's coming from tennis, because he'll have to recalibrate the power. Alright, the Dynamos have quickly neutralized the lead, the early lead that the Chargers had. Sid appealing with all the earnestness of an Australian bowler, the referee rejecting with all the curtness of Steve Buckner. Fault, we move on to the second serve. Match 5. I love these long rallies that happen around the kitchen because it's really a question of who's going to blink first. Vikram, look at that serve. Doesn't that also remind you?
It does, it does. A real whip on the ball as he sends it across the court.
It's very, very reminiscent of table tennis players. But Srikar to serve. Out. Too much power.
The Chargers building back their lead again.
The lead now. Ooh. The second serve, Saina. We haven't seen any of his usual flashy gameplay so far. That's it.
And a 5-point lead now.
Powerful serve. Unfortunately, too much power. Crashes into the net. It'll have to be Vikram who gets his team some points now. Sid trying to be a little cheeky over there, attempting to lob it over the players' heads. Couldn't get it past the net though. Sai Sharan to serve, 7-2. Srikar to Vikram. One thing that I'm fascinated by while doing commentary over here is just the dynamics between players, especially in a doubles match. You notice some teams are more chatty, smiling, talking, where some teams are almost, it's like they have some telepathic connection between each other, barely communicate.
That's true. I mean, I think a large part of it is also down to how their playing styles complement each other, where you just know that what you can't reach, your partner can, and vice versa. But also a lot of it probably has to do with just, to an amateur like me, it looks like maximizing your court coverage. Being in the right place can often tell you what to do more efficiently than anybody actually saying the words.
That's true. Ooh. There's something so satisfying about seeing a complicated serve land exactly right, exactly where it was planned.
Equally when it's returned. And
Yep.
we've come back to a rally over here that's been going right up until that point.
In fact, on Instagram, you see these videos called ASMR videos. If somebody made a pickleball ASMR video, I think that would do very well because pickleball has its own unique sounds.
Definitely a possibility. We have a mic on the net, so we might as well to give it a try. Message to the league, potential new YouTube bucket found.
But if you want any ASMR videos, we'll have to wait for the next match because with Sahiti, the captain of the Nandi Chargers, on the court side, you get to hear a lot of her encouraging her
That's right.
players.
The decibel level is always loud when the Nandi bench is on their feet.
Meanwhile, just to go off topic a little bit, as both the teams switch sides, did you watch the latest trailer by Rajamouli of his movie Varanasi? Do you have any thoughts? Did you watch it?
I didn't catch the event live, but I definitely, it was hard to ignore after it happened. It was
Yeah.
pretty much everywhere.
Did you watch the trailer though?
I did watch the trailer. It seems very ambitious in scope. So
Do you have any predictions for what the story could be?
I think the biggest thing that everybody probably got from that event is that it's going to be something about time travel, not just globetrotter, but time trotter as well. So that's probably something to watch out for.
All right. Just as good as that match was, we have Ben Bomer and the music in the background if you listen carefully. Father Ocean, quite an ironic song to play in Hyderabad without many rivers.
What a shot
Beautiful.
that was. Waited for it and then whipped it from around the net. It's turning into something of a specialty shot there.
Beautiful shot. You know, the problem with the Dynamos in this particular match is like there are flashes of brilliance, but they are somehow not able to convert it into match points, into decisive leads.
That's right. There's been quite a few unforced errors playing into the net, I guess. But as you said, flashes of brilliance right here. The way they're defending that rally. All these smashes raining down on it. They finally tell for the Nandi Chargers.
Our cameraman obviously probably worked in the IPL earlier. Specialize in showing all the pretty women in the house. Not that anybody is complaining. Dynamos inching closer. All right. Give us one of those TT serves. Yes, look at that. Reminds me of the time when I used to play TT. As somebody who came from badminton, I used to heavily underestimate that particular sport till I got beaten by a literal child. Like a 10-year-old just decimated me. And that's when I started learning the sport with some more seriousness.
Every sport looks easy until you play it.
True.
Fantastic shot there.
In fact, I read some interesting stats that doctors around the world have been surprised by the number of people who have been, number of patients who have come from pickleball. Because apparently they go into the sport thinking this is very easy, and then they overtrain or like they underestimate how rigorous the sport could be. And the other stat that I read that kind of blew my mind, I mean, didn't really blow my mind, it seemed logical at some level if you think about it. Apparently more than 9,000 tennis courts in the US have been converted to pickleball courts.
That's correct, and you know who's up in arms about it? Novak Djokovic.
Oh,
He
really?
made an official statement decrying that if people don't take care of it soon, they'll lose their sport.
But you know, I kind of get it because tennis is such a high intensity, you know, a sport that requires such high levels of fitness, whereas pickleball is more accessible. So I would assume if I ran a court of my own, it would probably make more economic sense, perhaps, to switch to pickleball. Also, the other thing I think is that tennis courts have such rigorous rules on the floor, on like, you know, what kind of court it is, whether it's a grass court, whether it is a clay court, whether it is a hybrid court, an astroturf kind of a court. Whereas in pickleball, you don't have all of those kind of restrictions, so that could be one of the reasons.
Those are those unforced errors I was talking about earlier in terms of points where you really don't expect it, but the ball ends up going wide, long, or hitting the net. Fantastic retrieve there, and just about not making the net. But there you go. If this match was to be encapsulated in a nutshell, the last 2 points would probably do it. Fantastic defending from the Dynamos from an onslaught, and the previous one a point where you wouldn't really expect it, but they managed to give it away.
The other thing the Dynamos have done differently in this particular match is, since they know that both Srikar and Sharan have very powerful shots, they have ensured they are at the back of the court in order to neutralize those powerful winners, those shots.
And hey, look at the score. It's at 8-8 now.
8-8. All said and done, that was a good comeback by the Dynamos. Whoever wins this match makes it a must-win for their opponent in the next match. We are at 2-2. This is match number 5. Court number 1 at the Hyderabad Pickleball League 2025. Fantastic defense.
The Dynamos in the lead for the first time this match so far.
Yeah. Surprisingly, in the second half of the match, it is the Dynamos who have seemed calmer, more collected. Can they continue their winning streak? Unfortunate there.
Never know, they still got their second serve. Let's see where this takes us.
All right.
Doesn't take us too far. It serves back with the Chargers.
Nine all. Who would have thought that the Chargers will have to come back? Well left. You could see Sid just almost flinching, but letting it go eventually. Second serve. Oh! Most of this match, the Dynamos have adopted a defensive sort of a strategy. Very rarely are they engaging in expansive shots.
I think also they've noticeably cut down on the errors that we saw in the first half of the match. And as I say it,
Commentators Abhishapam. Ten-9 with the Dynamos.
superb flick backhand. The Chargers break back and look to draw level with this serve. Ten as the Chargers hold their serve. Nearly a fantastic dig out over there. Temperatures and volumes rising as we get closer to the end of this game. Neither team giving an inch, neither bench giving an inch. And another tightly contested rally, this time going the way of the Dynamos.
The great thing about this particular match is that the lead has never exceeded maybe 2 points max, except at the beginning. Neither of the team has let the opponent run away with it.
Nearly. And that brings us to 11-11. A rash shot. The Chargers will be thinking they need to get at least 1 point over here from this second serve. And they can't. Service moves to the Dynamos. Can they score a point? The whole court could hear that call of out. Luckily, so did his teammate. And the Dynamos go up 12-11. This is dangerous now. 2-point lead this close to the end with 2 serves in hand. Can the Chargers peg them back?
All right, the Dynamos. Just 2 points away from a victory. With that, we move on to match point.
Perhaps a serve that he could have taken on his backhand.
Yes.
But he moved around to try and get the angle with the forehand. Couldn't.
And you can you can see the impact of the pressure also, because ever since the Dynamos have been leading, the shots have dried up from the Chargers. You don't see any of those expansive overhead shots anymore.
We might see it now. They need some points and they need them fast. There's one back. A shot that was. What a shot. Almost flat patted it. Sent it straight back and it seemed to hold in the air before pitching.
Oh.
The Dynamos with the chance to close this out.
All right, 1 point away. Slow, calm, collected. That shot right there. Ooh.
That was the play of the match so far for me.
Absolutely.
Incredible close quarters, hard hitting, and the Chargers dig it out.
All right, this is the last, probably the last chance the Nandi Chargers have to equalize.
A role reversal with the Dynamo smashing and the Chargers defending,
Yep.
which was the opposite of what was true for the rest of the match. The Dynamos again with the chance to close this out. And it comes not with a winner, but with a shot that hits the net. The Chargers will be disappointed after starting brightly to lose out in this way, but what a comeback from the Dynamos. They cut out the errors, they kept defending, they kept spinning the ball, and they take this match 15-12.
Also, Kiran, I should let you know that some of the players from our league represented Telangana and actually won quite a few medals. We'll be felicitating
We already
those players.
facilitated them by letting them
Yeah, now
own
it's
their
time
skills in the league.
Yeah.